Yeah.
Well, you know, I volunteered with Herb that I'd sit out and go through all the numbers for a day, because I think to really get to the bottom of this, we really need to understand the numbers. And the words. And the words.
Yeah.
Well,
We're all in agreement. It's a factual question.
is there any further business before we adjourn? Anybody would like to bring up?
Yes, I'm Sharon Busage. I'm here on behalf of the Disaster Preparedness Program.
Behalf
Disaster Preparedness Program. And I'm here with two colleagues, Caroline and Wellesley. The purpose for our attending the meeting today is we are in dire need of funds. We have a number of projects going on. We have technology that is being developed. We have a database. We have neighborhoods that are trying to organize and prepare for any type of disaster. And so we're here at, we're at the point right now where we really do need some funds to get this thing moving along.
Yeah. Well, we don't have a lot of money, and one suggestion I would make, I know that Lindenwood Homeowners Association has some money, and I think they're going to give the disaster preparedness area. You might want to try to go to the various other homeowners associations. There's at least 3 of them I can think of now, to see if they would maybe contribute something, because as you well know at the council here, we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel for money, and I think everybody else is, but
Yes.
I think
Max, with your direction, I'd be delighted to work with this group and see what we can do to scrape up some money and find where there's cost savings, and maybe work with some of the neighborhood groups and try to get them.
Absolutely.
I think they do a lot of great work. I spoke to Scott this
I
morning.
agree.
Well, one of the things that I'd like to understand a little bit is really what you're looking for too. So we talk about money, and the mayor says, hey, we don't have any, but we don't know what you're asking for and what you're planning on spending. And there are other sources of income which are directly related to disaster. I realize that our police department is a key part of that, and the town did sponsor some things a while ago, and we still do. But the fire department also is a major part of the disaster preparedness, and are they funding anything? It would be a question I would want to know when I'm reviewing your budget request.
Not to my knowledge. The fire district attends meetings. They certainly make recommendations to us, but they're not funding us per se. I think that's a town.
Okay, so I would have Mr. Hannah Malik, who I'm sure you know, who's funded by Mr. Smith and Mr. Carpenter, or Mrs. Smith, Miss Smith and Mr. Ms. Smith and Mr. Carpenter. That they may also be able. He's also on the fire board, and I would suggest that you go to the fire board and also ask for some funding. But it'd be good if we could understand what it is that you're looking for.
In terms of the amount?
Well, what projects that are not funded, what the numbers are, etc. And then we can also work with you and putting you in touch with not only the neighborhood communities, but we'll see,
And I'll lend whatever I can do. I'd like to meet with you all.
Sure.
So
I would say the fire department, that must be one of the groups in this
Yes.
area that doesn't seem to have a shortage of money.
Oh, well, we'll definitely go back to that. But I do just want to add this, and I know all the players. I'm on the ACIL board with Peter Carpenter, and I know Hannah Mallett well through disaster preparedness, and we've met. We have a database. We know who the players are in terms of people who have participated in the past and people who are interested in this program. So we can go to people and tell them, we would like to have you participate by, helping to fund this. I was, however, under the impression that the town was required to have a disaster preparedness program, and that it also required that we have some type of funding. Now, I could be completely wrong on this, but I thought there was something
Well,
in place.
we we do have an emergency operations center,
Uh-huh.
which I'm sure takes some money. And I'm sure that even though it's not called that much, as Bill pointed out, we've got a whole police department that certainly is going to be heavily involved in emergencies. I don't know of anything that says that we have to allocate a certain percentage of our budget to disaster preparedness, but I might be wrong.
Well, there was, a couple of years ago, there had been a series of meetings at the park. People came in, the fire department came in, the police department came in, they gave out these backpacks with the water and stuff like that.
Yes.
And they were great, and I think he did that 2 or 3 times. And I spoken with Hannah just as short as about a month ago. He indicated that y'all were gonna do a mailing to people to get people's awareness back up and talk about the progress that you've made, which I supported. And in fact, I even wrote a little introduction for him on that. I think that that's something that we would, I would think we could do the mailings on that, help you with the mailings.
Well, that would be
I can't allocate John's money, but I would think that that's something that's worthwhile for the town to do. But I think that other things, we could see what it is that you're looking to spend, that's fine.
Yes.
I'm also the council's representative pushing to our representative on the fire board, and I'm happy to put in a call to you if I understand, a little bit more about your budget, and we'll see what we can do as far as moving forward. And I would also suggest that you lobby Mr. Carpenter on it as well, because the majority of the disaster preparedness is really championed by the fire department. I mean, they go all over the world rescuing people, okay, and solving all these disasters. And they come to the meetings and they talk to us about disaster preparedness. And, it may be that they need to put a little bit of money into it as well.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'm Wally Sleeth, and with the 3 of us, we met on Saturday morning with this Atherton disaster preparedness team, and I know that Scott talked to you since that time. The take that we had on this on Saturday morning was that in the parcel tax, when that was passed, there was a lot of language and advertisement put out with that some of that money was going to go for disaster preparedness, which really is a safety issue that goes along with the police and what's going on there. Just to put a ballpark out there, because no one quite feels comfortable without really looking at all the numbers. Mr. Whitmer, in accordance with what you're suggesting, I think we're looking for something in the order of $50,000 to push this out to the other neighborhoods. It's not up to the fire department to help get organized the neighborhoods. Lindenwood, where I happen to live, and Mr. Dolby lives, we're maybe a little bit ahead of some of the other neighborhoods. But this is important to this town as much as the rest of the safety and burglaries and stuff like this. Now, I'll have to admit, from an insurance perspective, the odds of this happening immediately are probably small. But I would like to have our team work with you to see whether, with the police department, with the fire department, we can put together some money. There are ham radio expenses. There are some caches that you have to have in all the neighborhoods in order to make sure that if something did happen, you'd be able to, the neighborhood would be able to clear